Now, how do you create a Valentine's Day dinner that gets you out of your domestic rut? Well, you can try, for one, taking it outside. Cheryl Tan is with us. She writes our Tricks of the Trade column, and she's in New York, Skyping in. Hey there, Cheryl.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. Now, you set a very high bar here because you talked to someone who should know how to create the perfect Valentine's Day dinner. He had some pretty specific tips. Who was that?
This was Chef Michael Schwartz. He owns 3 restaurants in Miami and the Cayman Islands, and he's been married for 14 years, so obviously he's doing something very right. He gave us some great tips.
Now, for starters, he mentioned going outside, unless it stays in the 50-degree mark, which it actually got to this week here in New York. Not so good for us, but other people in warmer climates. Why is it good to get outside?
Well, his whole point is creating a very special night, something that feels very removed from your ordinary day. So if you normally eat at the dinner table, don't eat there. Eat somewhere else in the home. For him, he lives in Miami, so it's beautiful. He has a beautiful big tree outside. It creates this huge canopy. And so he goes out and he spreads out a blanket under the tree. He hangs lanterns in the tree. And he just sits out there and has champagne with his wife. And he brings the whole dinner outside, which is very romantic and very different from what they do with their 3 kids every day. So he suggests really going out of your own element, what you do usually.
So location matters. What about the content of what you're eating? Let me guess, he did not recommend ordering in Chinese.
Yes, definitely. He said the point is to not focus so much on the food, which is an odd thing for a chef to say, but he's like, the point is really the evening and spending time with your loved ones. So do everything ahead of time. For him, he likes to have maybe lobsters or something cold like stone crab claws. Something that he doesn't have to worry about working on during the meal, or he'll do he'll marinate sticks of beef and chicken skewers ahead of time, and then he'll bring those out and he'll grill them together, outside under the stars. So the point is to make it very easy. Do a lot of things ahead of time as much as possible.
Now, see, you mentioned grilling, which means to me less dishes, or fewer dishes rather. Did he say anything about the dish factor? I mean, nobody wants to be doing dishes on Valentine's Day.
Exactly. Well, what he does is he keeps it very easy. It's just a few dishes. He marinates the beef and the chicken skewers ahead of time, and then he'll bring out this little mini hibachi grill and he'll put it outside. And so it creates some activity too, like you're talking to your loved one, it's an activity that you're kind of sharing, and it creates some conversation as well.
Now, if you've got kids, very quickly, Cheryl, and let's say you can't get a babysitter for kids, is there a way to incorporate the kids into a Valentine's Day meal and keep it romantic? I don't know.
Well, right there, you can make them your dishwashers. But his point is to keep all of that as separate from you and your partner as much as possible. Make a pact ahead of time. Don't talk about kids, paying the bills, work. Just talk about each other.
All right, so Cheryl Tan, more tips from her on Tricks of the Trade. That's in Personal Journal tomorrow, how to keep your Valentine's Day actually truly romantic and not full of domestic boredom.